Nutritional myth number 7, you can be healthy at any size. This phrase may give some people comfort, but we should follow the science even if it ruffles some feathers. Firstly, obesity is an actual diagnosable disease, so someone who is obese is already sick by definition, regardless of any other factor. This isn't some societal beauty standard. This is settled science. This is biology. This is medicine. And we aren't only talking about someone who is 400 pounds. A 150-pound person can be obese, depending on height, muscle mass, and their build. Starting with only 2 to 3 inches of visceral fat, internal organs begin to be damaged. The pancreas, the liver, kidneys, even the brain and the heart are affected. Secondly, the people who say this phrase have to define healthy. Is that normal blood pressure? Normal blood glucose? Haven't had a heart attack yet? Alive? What's the metric? Let me give you an analogy. Just because the brakes in your car haven't gone out yet, sending you crashing into a wall, doesn't mean that your brake pads aren't being damaged over time and may be on the verge of needing to be replaced. As you heard in my last video, fat accumulation is a symptom or consequence of metabolic syndrome. There are dozens of symptoms of metabolic syndrome, and they manifest themselves in different combinations in different people. Fat accumulation is just one of them. You might hear someone say, "But I'm fat and my doctor said I am perfectly healthy." There are thousands of indicators of health problems, and I'm guessing in that 15-minute checkup they got, the doctor only checked for maybe a handful. So there's not a way to definitively say that. I trust meta-analysis of millions of patients over a 15-minute checkup. Good blood sugar, blood pressure, heart rate, etc. are great, but fall short when proving good health, and can even be misleading and mask an underlying problem. When it comes to type 2 diabetes, your doctor will wait until your blood sugar is too high to begin treatment. But that's 10 to 20 years too late. Now, it's not necessarily too late to reverse it at that point, another myth, but damage was definitely done, and that person has a tough road ahead. The solution is this. There is a disorder that causes metabolic syndrome and eventually type 2 diabetes, but almost no doctors test for it, and that is hyperinsulinemia. Unless your doctor is up to date on the latest science, and most aren't, they won't even consider testing you. I can't give you medical advice, but I would personally get my insulin levels checked if I was overweight. Remember the dominoes I discussed in a previous video. Eating multiple times every day, exponentially worsened by refined carbs, causes chronically high insulin levels, which is hyperinsulinemia, the second step in this process, which causes insulin resistance and metabolic syndrome, which leads to chronically high blood sugars, which becomes type 2 diabetes. Then the high sugar and insulin levels damage the linings of your arteries. So your body mobilizes cholesterol and other compounds to repair or patch the damage. These patches accumulate and become a clot, giving you a heart attack or a stroke. If you're lucky, you'll live long enough to have your foot amputated, kidney failure, cancer, or dementia. This is a miserable, painful, depressing, expensive, and unnecessary cycle that removes the joy from the final 2 decades of life. It's not just about living longer, it's quality too. The average American spends the final 17 years of their life dealing with chronic disease. And it's getting worse. I get that the myth of healthy at any size was started with good intentions, but protecting feelings is not as important as the health of our children. I will tell my daughter that she is beautiful no matter what, but being overweight is a problem, and it's crucial to prevent.